All right, just like I mentioned a testimony about where I work, and there's an Israelite there, an actual Israelite that said he went out on the highways and byways and he was preaching the word. Now this man, he mentioned, because I asked him, what group do you follow? What camp did you guys follow when you were out there? And he was out there in Texas. And he said, well, we kind of do our own thing, but who I'm with went down to meet the brothers of Great Millstone, and they were offended in what the scriptures say. Okay? They were offended over the whole grape, the breakdown of how you deal with grape. All right, and I told them, well, that's not what we, we don't tell brothers to go around and get a wife like that, but that's what was done in the ancient world. Okay, if you went and you got a woman, just snatched her up, how it was done in the ancient world, you were supposed to obey her father. Okay, you were supposed to bring the father 50 shekels of silver, and that woman was supposed to be your wife. You weren't supposed to put her away. All right, you weren't supposed to just go have your way with her, and then toss her to the curb, man. Toss her to the street. That's wicked. And that's what's actually being done here on an everyday scale. So why you mad at us? Now, when the scripture was going into that, it didn't mean that you just went up and bonked her over the head with a club. It just meant you seized that possession. Okay? It just meant you got her. Okay? It didn't mean you did some caveman shit, some brutish shit. Like that movie, what was that movie, Baby Boy? Okay? Oh, no, Slock, not Baby Boy. Players Club. Like that bald nigga in the motel scene. Nah, that's not what that's going into. Okay? It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. Okay, so after their own lust, they gonna follow birds of a feather, won't flock together. They gonna follow who they feel is right according to them, not who's right according to the scripture, man. You gotta be like the Church of Berea. Search out the scriptures to measure up if a man's telling the truth or bullshit with you, man. Alright? And that's why I follow Great Millstone, man. When I first came into the faith, okay, when I heard about being an Israelite, okay, I seen IUIC. But I scratched my head at their doctrine, at the way they conducted themselves. And once again, it wasn't no purple and gold garments. Alright? I scratched my head and I was like, something off about this. Let me just keep on searching around. Then I seen ISPK. And I was like, whoa. This whole, because at least ISPK will come out and say, yeah, I was shy every now and again. Okay? At least ISPK will go out and cuss out Esau. Alright? See, the IUIC, they're more of like some Christian Israelite twist. If you look at the ISPK, they got more of like a militant twist. And then at the time, I had seen Men of Valor when they were still Great Millstone. And I was like, whoa, now this is it. The Lord had me see IUIC, ISCPK, and then Great Millstone, and then I seen GOCC. But I was already like, whoa, Great Millstone is it. And then I had seen GOCC, and I seen the 12 tribes chart was all scrambled. They had Japhet up in there as the tribes, and it was bugged out, man. Saying that like some of the northern kingdom were Samoans and Hawaiians or some. I was like, nah, this is off. But it was Great Millstone, man. Okay? Great Millstone, and it got the truth. And I say that because when I watched those brothers and the apostles and elders preaching, I would go and read the scriptures and fact check. Not that I didn't believe them, but just to read it for yourself, just so it registers for you. And the scriptures say you got to be fully persuaded in your own mind. All right, a man can't hold your hand into the kingdom. A man can't make you believe. Okay? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has to sup with you. All right? You have to believe for yourself. That's only possible if the Lord's dealing with you. Okay? If the Lord is not dealing with you, you could believe mermaids exist, man. All right? You're going to believe that every nation can make it. Okay? It says, for the time will come, when they will slug you. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. See, the doctrine we preach is sound. Okay? It flows, it's got rhythm. Alright, it's not just like banging brass, man. Alright? And that's when we go into the things we go into, all the topics and brothers preach, we go into it. Okay? It says, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. You know, and a fable is like folklore, man. Fable is another way of saying something that's fake, something that's false, a made-up story. When all the scriptures, okay, the history of the Bible, it's not a fable. These accounts actually took place. To this day, you can look at the Red Sea and see the chariot wheels of Pharaoh and his military that were drowned in the Red Sea. All right, you can Google images of Lot's wife being turned into a pillar of salt. It's still there. All right, the Bible is truth. Okay? All of it. It says, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. That could happen to a person that believes today. Alright? You could believe today and be gone tomorrow. Okay, you could believe now and bug out. Alright? It says, but watch thou in all things, endure afflictions. You gotta watch in all things. And that word a good word for to watch in all things is to be circumspect. Okay, to examine, to expect everything that's around you, your circumference. That's what it means to be circumspect. And that doesn't mean you just do a 360 spin and you just look at your surroundings. No. That means everything that you go through, everything that you watch, the people around you, got to examine everything, man. Okay? It says, endure affliction, so that the hell you catch, you have to endure it. All right? Every man, woman that believes has to take up their cross. Okay? Got to endure the hell you catch, your situations. And as you endure these situations, you got to find a way to make these situations better, less burdensome on you. All right? You know, we're required to grow, and not just in the spirit, but also in your everyday life is supposed to grow. You don't want to stay on the same level. Okay? You know, being comfortable, all right, teaches you to